Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship, brought to you by The Roasted Record here this evening. We're live on Motormouth Broadcasting as we come your way for Season 4, Round 10, live from Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Jim Cunningham as always. And Jim, it's always a special time when we get to come to the home of the Petit Le Mans. It's a wondrous circuit. It's short, it's sharp, and it's had all sorts of different racing series come here across the years. And, well, really, it's one of the crown jewels of US-based sports car racing. You match this up alongside the likes of Sebring and Daytona, and realistically, this is one of the best events of the year when it is the home of the Petit Le Mans, down in November and October time. But tonight, we get to do it for 60 minutes of Ultimate GT Championship action.
Yeah, and it's, I guess, well, this is round 10, so we've got 2 more rounds after this, closing out this season. Yeah, and I mean, it's Road Atlanta, man. What else do you need to say? I mean, this place is, it's steeped in American, sports car racing history. I mean, all the way going back, I guess, into the 60s, and what a phenomenal place it is. And like you said, it's really, when it comes to endurance racing in the United States, it's one of the big 3.
It is indeed. And it's not just sports car racing that comes here, of course, as well. We also get some open wheel action coming here too, through the likes of local open wheel series, the region based open wheel series, as well as Indy Next has raced here before as well. And, funnily enough, differently, Formula Drift has come here as well, using the back end section of the circuit to make their drift portion of the circuit. So, nearly anything and everything's come racing here at some point in time, Jim. I don't know if NASCAR's ever run a road course race here, though. I don't know how well that would actually go. That might end in tears.
I don't think they have. I don't even know that NASCAR's raced at VIR, and that's been the test bed for NASCAR for road racing for years, being that it's only 2 hours from Charlotte. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they've ever raced here, at least not to my knowledge. It would be interesting, though. I don't know that this place is wide enough to put stock cars on it, though, to be honest.
They'd come around the kink on the back straight as the downhill changes from uphill to downhill. They'd be braking at the kink to get down towards turn 10, otherwise they'd end up in the sand. But no, it's always a special place to go racing, and it's always a pleasure to come racing at Road Atlanta, of course. And for this point of the season, Jim, I mean, realistically, we're getting into the nitty and gritty now of the championship. There are some drivers that can set themselves up well to win their championship by the time we get to Daytona next week for the second to last round of the season as well. And for the GT3 Pro category, it's been the talk of the town has been Ricardo Delgado, of course. 1,288 points is the current points gap. Oh, sorry, is the current points lead. He is leading Derek Fulker at this stage by 231 points. If he outscores Fulker here this evening by, he'd have to outscore him by 70 points, Jim.
I don't think Fulker's here again.
That means that by the end of this race,
that he did not enjoy the penalties that he received for the incidents.
Well, have we got a list of penalties that he received for those incidents? Obviously, we can talk through them at some point.
I don't know that we do have a list of them, but I know there were penalties issued, and apparently he took issue with them and didn't show up last week, apparently because of that. And it would appear, according to what I'm looking at right now, he's not here tonight. So that would tell me that, potentially that is that decision's been made. I don't think he wasn't removed from the league. He may have removed himself, but so it is what it is.
What it also means is, so between Justin Bock and Ricardo Delgado, it's a similar case, really. He has to outscore Justin by 70 points to 9.
Yes.
And he will be crowned the champion before we get to Daytona next week. If he doesn't outscore him by 70 points, then Justin Bock still has an opportunity, although a very slim opportunity, to get past him in the championship standings. So GT3 Pro-Am category as well. We are indeed. It goes by very, very quickly. For the GT3 Pro-Am category, it's actually a little bit closer than what the pros are. currently at this stage. Only slightly closer. Michael Caffrey on 1,209 points leads Harrison Holiday by roughly 170 points. He can't mathematically beat Harrison Holiday before Daytona next week unless Harrison doesn't cut a lap here tonight. As long as he finishes the lap, it will go to Daytona, where we can decide the championship for the prime category. David Steiner is still within mathematical chance as well, but the rest of the field is nowhere near close enough to challenge Michael Caffrey to season's end. But realistically, Pro-Am class should be figured out by next week at Daytona. For the AM class, Jed Cotterman leads by 144 points over James Leneven. So again, if James is racing tonight, it's not going to get tied up this evening. It could get tied up next week at Daytona as well. And the way that Jed's been racing, more than likely is going to be tied up next week by the time we get to Daytona. Multiple top 10 finishes this season, and he'll get that red banner on his car for next season as well. For the GT4 class, well, Jim, Cole Malley, all he has to do tonight is score 8 points more than John Voigt, and he will be the GT4 champion for Season 1 of 2026 for the Ultimate GT Championship. He leads at the moment by 292 points. He scores 8 points more than John Voigt tonight, which, mathematically speaking, based on the statistics we've seen this season, should happen. He will be our champion for the GT4 class.
There you go. Yeah, well, I mean, he's had that dominating of a season, which we'll talk about points as we get through here. Let's jump into this track map here before we run out of time, because I think this is probably, well, it's probably not too long, but let's get into it and see.
Well, of course, we know Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta is based out of Atlanta, Georgia, of course, and not right near the city of Atlanta. We're actually probably a couple of hours away from Atlanta
it's not that
CBD.
far. It's only about
that far?
about 45 miles,
okay,
maybe
45
something
minutes.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, not too bad. But obviously in the hills here of Georgia, and elevation changes galore at this place, and it is a wondrous circuit to go racing, of course. Highest point of elevation you'll find yourself at is up at turn 10, 11, where you'll be right at the top of the hill and start to come back down. But it all starts on the main straight, downhill towards turn 1, trying to hook it in nice and tight on the apex as you come through for the first time. And on cold tyres especially, can run wide and end up in the grass. It's a very, very tough place to try and get it back on the track. Then through the switchback section of turn 2, 3, and 4, again, just trying to dance the car on the tyres through here, making sure they're going to grip up. Don't go for a move too early because it's going to end in tears. And then up towards turn 5, where you've got to be cautious of the deadly chicane on the outside. Don't want to catch any of the sand on the exit. Otherwise, you'll feel the rear end come around and you'll end up on the wall to your left-hand side. As we run down the hill once again towards the double right-hander of turn 6 and 7, you get down towards the lowest point of elevation along that straight, and you're starting to make the climb back up the hill once again through turn 7. Maximizing your exit's going to be key because you've got a long straight ahead of you. You've got to get the power down as quickly as possible as you flow through turn 8, continuing down the straight and continuing up the gears. Slipstream is going to be important down here as you run up through turn 9 and begin to run back down the hill once again towards turn 10. A struggle zone in terms of braking. You don't want to be braking too late because you may end up in the sand. You don't want to be braking too early as you may be opening up yourself for an opportunity to pass for an opponent on the road. Through 10A and 10B, past the end of the Formula Drift section and below the Fox Bridge at turn 11, you run back down the hill again through the fast and flowing turn 12 and back across the line to end out the lap. Probably the most memorable moment in the series we've had down at turn 12, Jim, was the moment between Daniel Pino and Nathan Biggett only last season, or only a season or two ago, where both of them ended up in the wall after contact down at turn 12. And really, it's a very quick lap. It's a tough lap, but these drivers should have plenty of laps around here, being that it is a mainstay of sports car calendars for iRacing season upon season, and the fact that it is the home of the Petit Le Mans as well, down in November.
Yeah, I would think, I can't imagine many guys driving these cars that don't have a ton of laps here. There's some brutal spots here, though. That turn 5 exit, when you get out wide there, it gets really rough, and like you said, you got the gravel, sand up there as you kind of get off that turn. But that's a place that inevitably we probably will see someone tonight catch one of those bumps through there wrong, and it'll kick the car out sideways and they'll wreck it. It happens almost every event. And but you know what? We've got just a few seconds here before we start gridding up. I'll save that story. I'm going to save that story for later. I don't have time to give it justice, and I want to give it some justice. So as the pace car has taken the grid, and so we'll go ahead and start this because it is a short lap here. So we'll get the grid going here.
It's a fast and fiery lap, and it's deja vu for the front row of the grid off of qualifying. Ricardo Delgado, Nathan Biggett making up the top 2 positions once again here for round 10 out at Road Atlanta as Delgado takes the pole here at Michelin Raceway. Looking back to row 2, we'll find ourselves with Lance Campbell and Daniel Schmoll. Daniel's been doing not too bad this season. Had a good performance a couple of rounds ago, but he needs to try and get back full and firing. Harrison Holiday, Michael Caffrey for row 3 in the top 6. As we then find ourselves with Scott Petrone and David Steiner within the top 8 of the grid, making up our top 10.
Scott Petrone was very excited that he made the highlight reel last week with his amazing flip it VIR.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. David Vulpert, Michael Anderson, the top 10 for row 5. If I'll save that for a moment. Zach Houston, Jacob Cotterman, the top 12. Here this evening, Cotterman running the FAF livery, apparently. Justin Bock, Kurt Basler making up row 7 here this evening for the top 14. Jed Cotterman qualifying a little bit off the pace tonight. He'll start alongside his fellow AM driver in Chet Miller for the top 16. Chet's been doing pretty well this past few weeks. Hopefully he continues on that run. Jamie MacArthur, Jody Nelson then for row 9. And for our top 20, we'll find ourselves with Justin Welsh and John Swan in one of the only Ferraris out in the field. Brandon Herzing, Ty Baxter, then the top 22 cars on the road. To row 12, we go to Justin Cornett and Mark Ogier for the top 24. Before we get to the GT4s with Cole Malley on pole once again, alongside John Voigt. As we said, he's only got to outscore him tonight by 7 points. It's very doable for Cole. Aiden Kiley, Timothy Schaefer, then row 14. Here this evening to row 15, we find Kyle Dersham, the only other GT4 race winner this season, who won back at Watkins Glen, alongside Chris Grondin in P30. And to row 16, we'll find nobody, because that's going to make up our 30-car grid for the evening. Now, the point I was going to make was for Scott Petrone. Obviously, if this is real-world racing, he would not be racing this week after that roll. That's meant that he would not be racing. The reserve driver would be on board that car.
Yes.
Pot Scatone, I heard is his name instead of Scott Petrone.
Right. Pot Scatone. Yes.
Yep. He's an Italian driver. But yeah, I mean, it was a wild crash. Probably one of the biggest ones we've seen in terms of rollover. And probably just the intensity of the roll as well, how quick the roll came. It was violent, absolutely violent. Well, we're excited for what tonight can bring as we run it down towards 10A and 10B time. Well, yep.
Well, so yeah, we're coming up here to 10A, 10B. Oh, well, I said that off camera so nobody would hear.
Well, I was checking my ping as well. It says 195, but I'm on all green bars. So
I don't know. I can hear a background noise, and the background noise cuts out when you cut out. So that's what made me think it was your noise gate as we're coming down here for the green flag.
So around turn 12 we come. Lights are up. It's green flag at Road Atlanta. Michelin Raceway lights up with sports car action once again, as Delgado will lead us through turn number 1 for the very first time. The GT4s are about to get started here. Nathan Biggett's gone round at turn 1. And Michael Anderson as well. It's blown up down at turn 1 down there as the race leader continues on. Daniel Schmoll's also off the road as well, Jim. Multiple cars have gone off, and well, it feels like it's going to be a little bit of a reset now for those drivers just to try and push on for the next 60 minutes. But I'll tell you what, Nathan Biggett, he's going to have a fun 60 minutes here. He's going to have to run through the field.
Yeah, let's. Well, we've seen him when he used to do that just for fun. Let's see. While you're doing that, I'll go check and see what's going on with the GT4s as Cole Malley is overtaking some of the GT3 traffic that got caught up in that mess there. It looks like Michael Anderson. Looks like he's blinking on top of it.
So this was the race start for Nathan Biggett. And we'll watch as he exits stage left down at turn 1. So a little bit of a scramble towards turn 1 off the start. And as they come through, contact's made with Lance Campbell, who ran it slightly wide down there. So I think the cold tyres on Campbell's car just kind of made him drift wide a little bit, missed the apex slightly, and Biggett hasn't been able to grip it up either, and then contact's made, and both of them have gone round down at turn 1. And then for Michael Anderson's moment, very, very odd. Very, very odd for Michael Anderson. So he's coming through, he's not behind David Steiner, he's made a little bit of contact with Steiner, and then there you see he's trying to, fix that up with Lance Campbell. And Jim, I have to say, Lance commented last week about the comments that I made about his racecraft, and he's just pulled out in front of the field as they're entering turn 1. So I would like to say to Lance, I'm sorry if I said it to you before, but you've just pulled out in front of the field at turn 1.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, those things have a way of coming around, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do sometimes. Justin Bott, though, doing quite well at this stage.
So
on the road, he is P5.
That is my story that I want to share. I want to say that one of the best moments, happiest moments for me as a commentator was last Friday night for the Bike Point Racing Series when Justin Bach got off his first win in any one of these league races, and he did
Let's go, Justin.
He did it in an LMP2 car, and he did it holding off the top guys in points. He held them behind him. They closed down on him, and he did not make a mistake when they were pressuring the hell out of him, and he ultimately held on and won that race. And I got to interview him afterwards, and we had a lot of fun. Because obviously, we've commentator cursed him into every good wall around the world on racetracks around the globe. So it was a lot of fun to have that interview with him, and I was very happy for him. And to be honest, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. We've seen him wreck. We've seen him get wrecked. He never, his demeanor never changes, and it was just really cool to see him get that win Friday night. Enjoyed the hell out of it.
Well, it's great to see and great to hear for Justin to get such a great performance out of it as well. We've lost 3 drivers in this race, Jim, across the start. Mark Ogier, Daniel Schmoll, and Lance Campbell is out of this race after that contact at turn 1 as well. David Vulper's been into pit lane, but he's back out again after getting his car, I think, fixed up or maybe serving a black flag. Kurt Basler as well has also been through pit lane as well. We're riding on board on the lower screen with Ty Baxter as he continues to battle away here with Brandon Herzing. On the upper side, we can see where Vulper's come out of pit lane, right ahead of Michael Caffery amongst the top 10.
Right ahead.
Yeah, right ahead. Talking about some of the percentage chances of drivers locking out their championship after tonight's race, I'd say for Ricardo Delgado, it's sitting roughly at around about probably a 65% chance. It would take a pretty significant lull for Justin Bach tonight for him to drop enough points to Delgado for him to lock out the title. I mean, he'd have to finish last in class for that to happen. Pretty difficult here this evening, especially with the number of pro cars that are in the field. So I'd say less than likely. Actually, I might put it down to maybe 45%, because I don't think it's that likely actually.
Yeah, no.
That happens with only 7 cars in the field. And actually, if you look at the points differentials, it may not even be possible for him to lock it out tonight now that Justin's actually completed a lap. For the Pro-Am classification, it's probably it's just as less likely, I would say, because Caffery doesn't quite have the gap available to build up enough tonight to win the championship before next week.
And Harrison, that one's leading the class as we speak now.
So that one's going to Daytona. It's a 0% chance that gets locked out this evening. For the amateur class, that's going to go to Daytona as well. So that's probably that's at a 0% chance getting locked out tonight. I would say for GT4,
Oh, it's
I would
almost
argue.
100%.
I would argue, Jim, it's 99.99% that chance that Cole Malley is going to lock out that championship this evening.
Well, the reality is it doesn't matter whether or not he locks it out now or not. As long as he
No, it
shows
doesn't.
up,
If he shows up next week and completes a lap, he'll win.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So,
So it's the comparison of, you know, do you pick an orange now or do you pick an orange tomorrow? You're still going to get an orange. You know, it's
right.
He's either going to win it this week or he's going to win it next week. It's not going to go to the final round at Sebring. It would take him missing Daytona for that to happen. So it's not likely going to happen. Yeah. He'd have to miss the last 2 rounds.
To be honest, I hope he goes ahead and gets it done because it's a done deal anyway. And I'd like to see him in a GT3 car for the next 2 weeks.
I would as well. I would like to see him. You know, I know he's a fan of the Lamborghini, so it'd be good to see another Lambo out there on the road.
That's cool.
David Vulpa off the road at turn 1. A wild ride on board that Mustang. And that's found him now off the road. Justin Cornett, Jody Nelson as well. Those 2 Porsches that start alongside each other on the grid. Getting a little bit of a wide berth down at turn 1 as well. The struggles are coming for some of these drivers out there.
Yeah, this is Road Atlanta,
but they're pushing on hard.
This is one of those tracks that people... I think people think this is an easy track for some reason, but it's not. Just because it's got short laps does not make it easy.
You know what I would claim, Jim? I think Road Atlanta...
Oh, well, probably it gets a lot less easier.
Oh, it does.
When David Steiner...
I would say...
Oh, sorry.
We need a beat button, Jim.
Well, I thought I was... apparently, I thought I was still doing XCal from last night.
But no, but one thing I will say is... I think Road Atlanta as a circuit is probably actually easy in a slower car. So let's say maybe not GR86 actually, because that thing's a bit of a pig, but an MX-5.
Have you driven one since they updated it?
Oh, I've not. So maybe it's a bit better.
No, it's better.
If they've updated it. Okay. So a GR86, an M2, or an MX-5, an F4 as well. I would even argue the SFL. This track's pretty good in those cars. It's relatively easy. Right, because they're low speed. It's not a high speed course.
Right. Or
so you take slow speed cars.
Downforce like the Super Formula Lights or the
Extra,
things like that.
Yeah. So you bring them around here and you feel like you're on rails and it's a great time. I would even argue maybe the Porsche Cup car, maybe more so the old one than the new one. I don't know, but yeah. So I'd say that there's slower classifications of car, except for the GT4 because. You know my personal opinions on the GT4, Jim, when driving it.
It doesn't have any downforce anymore either. So
yeah. So it is literally like driving a rock on a piece of tarmac. But as we can see, Nathan Biggett's just starting to make his way back through the field. He's now on the inside of Ty Baxter towards turn 9. He'll be on the outside for 10A, maybe on the inside for 10B as well. As he just gets the job done on Baxter down there. Baxter gave it up to him inevitably, knowing that Biggett's going to help pull him along.
Yes.
As he should have, yeah.
I was going to say there, if he fights him, that's just one of those moves that you question the racecraft involved. You know Biggett is Biggert, not Biggett. He's not a bigot, by the way. You know he's faster than you. Don't fight him. All you're doing is bringing yourself back into the clutches of people behind you. And it's not your fight. You're not in his class. You let him go, you know. And he did.
That's right.
Props to him for that.
Well, he's let him go, and he's built up significant gap now as John Swan is looking for a move here on Ty Baxter as well. And John's doing quite well for himself here to just put the pressure on him at this stage. And realistically, I mean, he's really starting to pressure him in towards turn 7. We'll see if we can try and get this done down towards turn 10 as well. But you know, there's so much great racing action on the road here at Road Atlanta, and I find it funny, Jim, that you know we mentioned it's probably a better track for slower cars, but they bring the Petite Le Mans here with the multi-class of GTP and the GTD car as well. And it doesn't actually end in that many tiers in the officials. All the tiers come early in the race. When everyone's spread out, it's actually quite safe and actually not too
I
bad.
think this track is fine for GTP cars too, because they have enough downforce that that they really operate pretty well around here. I think that one of the harder, more difficult cars to drive around here would probably be these GT3 cars. They're heavy. They got enough speed. And they don't have a ton of downforce. It's a combo. Whoa! What in the world happened there?
That looked like a steering failure for Chris Grondin down the straight. That was very, very weird. Let's watch this back on board with him. And watch the left-hand side of that steering wheel.
Go to the cockpit.
So he's getting passed. He's getting passed up here by some of these drivers. Oh, that's not the right one. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Hard lock over to the left. Yeah,
let's go back.
Well, I think that tells you everything.
Oh, yeah.
Instant left all the way.
Yeah, instant. Yeah.
I mean, unless you just decide to commit suicide going down the back straight.
But that there, even at full speed,
you wouldn't.
The force feedback alone, you couldn't turn it all the way across. But yeah, that's a shame for him. Kurt Basler, Michael Anderson making their way back through the field at this stage of the race. Lance Campbell's back out there, by the way.
He is.
So it's good to see. He's back on the road.
Right behind Ty Baxter
and John Swan at this point in time. So bit of an inter-class battle here as he looks to sneak his way back forward through the field after the contact at turn 1.
So to be honest with you, I laughed. Of course, I laughed my butt off last week when Lance Campbell called you out for that. And it clearly bothered you to some degree, whether you say it did or didn't. That's fine. But you went looking for that comment after the race because you really wanted to find out where you said it. And of course, I don't think you ever found it.
I didn't.
So
I have no idea where I said it.
Which I found interesting, in itself. So clearly, you don't want to be the guy known to, be calling drivers out like that or whatever. But the fact that this week he plants it in front of the field there. First of all, he knocked Bigot off the bigger. But why am I calling him Bigot tonight? I don't know. He knocked Nathan off the track there and then rejoined right in front of the field. I have to say there's a level of irony in that whole deal there. And I didn't actually see it. I was looking at timing and scoring when you were showing that replay. I was, looking for what else was going on. And so I didn't actually see the replay. And if I'm being honest with you, I want to see it. So I'm not going to have.
I'll find it again for you.
Yes, I was going to say. I'm asking you to pull it up for me. It's not you picking on him. I actually want to see it just so that, so I can say I did see it. Look at Biggert here. He's splitting the two of them here. Right, coming in there. There's I am brutal on names tonight.
It's okay.
It's Anderson. No, it's not Anderson. In the Corvette that you've been on all year long. Chet Miller.
It's Chet Miller.
Thank you.
He's done so well the last few weeks.
He has. Actually.
He's done exceptionally well compared to his first half of the season. Second half of the season, he's been great.
Yes.
So this was turn one, lap one.
I'm watching it.
So he comes into the corner, misses the apex slightly, knocks Bigot off, keeps the foot into it, and pulls it straight back out in front of the traffic.
Yeah, he does.
And, all I can say is, Jim, because I don't exactly know what I actually said that questioned his racecraft, but I'm just going to say these words. I'm just going to reiterate the words that I said about his racecraft. I don't even know. If you know what I said, great, you know what I said. If you don't, I don't know, go find it. I don't even know what I said that he called me out on, but
either way, I thought the whole thing was funny last week, just because not only because he called you out, but then that somewhere deep down inside you wanted to go find out what you said, and so to whatever degree it bothered you, and you wanted to at least know what you did say, and then the fact that you couldn't find it and all of that, and then here we are a week later, and he he kept his foot planted in it there and ended up taking out a couple of the cars, not to mention your front row second place starter
Yeah.
To be fair, he did start in third and took himself out as well. But this is a good battle.
But I think
Class battle.
so what I think the issue is, right. So he said to us right last week that he wants to battle the guys at the front. He wants to race with the pro drivers. He wants to race for a win.
Right, and he's skilled enough.
Why? He's skilled. He's speed wise, yes, he's skilled enough to, regularly his racecraft is on display as being quite good.
Yes.
But my question then is, if you want to claim your racecraft is at that level, why are you going for a low percentile move at turn 1 on lap 1?
Well,
like you've got 60 minutes to get past him.
All right. So well. So in his defense, if I got a chance to pass Nathan in turn 1 and can get ahead of him, where he has to get back by me, I don't know how a low percentage that move is. I mean, his tires were a little cold there, and it obviously didn't work. And it's easy to hindsight's always 20/20, and it's easy to say, that wasn't maybe the best move or whatever. But the reality is that early on in these races, especially up there with these top guys like Delgado and Nathan and him, for that matter, and many others up there. You got to kind of get them early sometimes, or they get away from you. You know what I mean?
No, that's right.
And so I don't necessarily question the decision-making there. I mean, obviously the execution didn't work. But like you said, he has definitely demonstrated that he's got the speed to run with those guys. And in most cases, the racecraft. We haven't. Yeah. It's not like we've called him out about racecraft all year long or anything like that by any means.
Well, it's not like he had a week off last week for penalties, for example, right? We can give a direct comparison to other drivers in the field, and we can say undoubtedly he has got better racecraft than those who've had a week off or who've received penalties. And ultimately, yeah. I think that realistically, he's going to be a pro class driver next season based on his speed alone. Yeah, he'll be a good one for sure, and he'll hopefully challenge the likes of Bigot and Delgado. And I know he has an ambition to get faster and to get up there relatively quickly. I look forward to seeing if he can execute that hope and dream and that goal, because we want to see the drivers do well. We want to see them execute their goals. And I'm looking forward to seeing what goals drivers have for next season. We know that Lance is going to be battling with the pro drivers.
Yes.
We know that Coles is going to be to try and do well in his first season in the GT3 car as well. And we know that for Jed, it'll be to try and get put into Pro-Am class, I would assume. I'm just joking. I kid, of course. But no, I think Jed knows now that he is probably within the pro class in terms of pace. Yeah. And I think he'll just be looking to try and get a solid season under his belt.
I think that he needs to go into that with reasonable expectations. He knows that he's not fast enough right now to win in that category, and that's okay. You're not supposed to dominate, every step of the way. There's supposed to be a learning curve, and you're supposed to be pushed. And that's what's going to happen to him when he gets up in the pro category. He's going to find speed, and then he's going to start wrecking the car because he's going faster than he's gone before. And then he'll find that he'll level that out with his racecraft, and then he'll find a little more speed. That's how it goes, And I'll tell you what, Nathan is flying.
He is on the absolute charge right now, Jim. On the absolute charge.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This reminds me of
the Red Bull Ring when he started at the back of the GT field. Yeah. He's just offloaded David Steiner and Jamie MacArthur in the span of 2 corners. Went past Steiner down at 10A and 10B, and then got MacArthur onto the main straight into turn 1.
Yeah.
He is on the absolute
move. That's 3 cars he's disposed of in a turn and 2 turns on a straightaway. He's eliminating these guys pretty fast here. as he's all the way back up to 8th place overall, 4th in class. And let's see what's next for him. Well, he's got a little bit of a gap here next to get to Michael Caffrey. 6 seconds.
Well,
It'll be fun to see how long it takes.
What's going to be an interesting chase down, Jim? Because we've got 40 minutes left in this race, right? So he's got to try and chase down the likes of Cotterman and Caffrey and Patron, Bock, Houston, Holiday. And then he's got a 10-second gap, or nearly 11-second gap up to Delgado that he's chasing down at this point. And he is trying to chase down. It's 17 seconds at the moment between Delgado and Bigot. And it is how quickly can he offload the next 6 cars to get up to P2, and how quickly does it take him to chase down Delgado? Because Delgado ultimately is a very talented driver, very quick, very capable of running away with this thing here tonight. That is a great dash cam, Jim.
You like that, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well.
I need you to tell me which one that is, because I'm going to ask him for it.
Yeah, well, remind me afterwards, and I've got some information on that for you. But yeah, that's the new standalone, whatever he calls it. But they have one for standalone, then they have one that pops into the bottom of the NASCAR tower as well, which is cool.
Oh, I'm buying that one, Jim. I am buying that one. So
and the fuel thing here is, obviously we don't get accurate fuel information. So what I did was I went on to Garage 61 and looked up some of the excuse me, I'm so sorry, I didn't have time to get to my mute button there. I went on Garage 61 and looked up some laps of some of these guys and looked at the average fuel usage around here for laps in the practice sessions and stuff like that, and then put it together. And so this should be pretty accurate for most of the GT3 field. For somebody like Nathan, more than likely, he could almost probably run this thing down to absolute E, because we know he stretches a little further. Although I'm not too sure that he's stretching right now, because he is absolutely got this car on the ragged edge. So I don't know that he is saving fuel. But in my research to get all of that done, I found out that these cars run in this league on a 65% fuel capacity on the initial start of the race. But for some reason, when they go to refill the cars, they can fill them to almost 3/4 of a tank, so to almost 75%.
So what that would be is starting fuel is set to 65%, but the fuel tank capacity is 75%.
Apparently, yes.
Yes, yes. So that would mean that, say, if we had safety cars and we got a safety car on lap 1, they could come in, put in an extra 10% worth of fuel
Don't say safety car,
and push
please.
on. You know I love a safety car.
No, don't
Jim.
say a safety car. Because
so what I've noticed
last
is as
Friday at VIR, 90-minute race, they Bite Point we're running that new software, and they're trying to tweak it, and we missed a setting, and we ended up having 3 safety cars, all that were triggered by very minor incidents.
well then.
Yeah, so of an hour-and-a-half race, we lost well over 20 minutes to safety cars. So I'm a bit safety car skittish right now. So.
Well, that's okay. I have noticed over the last few laps. So Bigot, he's running faster than Delgado, and he's chasing down Caffrey
quick,
and now Patron and Cotterman. But the gap between Bigot and Delgado has actually stretched somehow. It was at 17 seconds, wasn't it?
No, it was at 12 when you made that comment.
No. 12 between Delgado and Holiday.
No,
on the overall gap
you're right. You're right.
And Delgado, it was at 17 seconds. It's now out to 22.2 seconds. So he has gained let me do the maths. 5 or 4 seconds across the last few laps. Has Delgado over Bigot. So he's gained a significant amount of time, but I don't understand how that works out, because Bigot's running faster than Delgado. So maybe I was just reading the timing.
Yeah, maybe, because the lap times don't indicate that at all. Right now, the lap times are saying that Nathan is a half second faster.
Yeah.
On the last lap and best lap, which doesn't really matter in this case.
It's just fixed it, Jim. My timing was off, so it's still at 17 and a half seconds.
Well, there you go.
So it's just fixed itself.
So it wasn't your brain that was off.
Wait, no. I know what I've done.
You struggled?
I was on a different driver, Jim.
Oh.
That was reading at 17 seconds. Yeah. You know what we like to call that in the business?
Yeah, dumbass moment? Oh, no.
A skill issue.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I had a skill issue.
Harrison Holiday, I've demonstrated the hell out of those lately.
And Bigot are all coming into pit lane, so those 4 cars are all in. We'll see how short this stop is for Bigot.
Interesting that Nathan is one of the first cars to pit. That just goes to show you how hard he's been running that car.
I wonder if
I think
this
maybe
is a little bit of strategy here to get him maybe into some cleaner air. After the pit exit,
maybe. Which, by the way, Digital Race Engineer, who happens to be a partner here, does have the ability to tell you if you pit now where you're going to come out at in traffic. So you literally could have, like the Formula One drivers do, if they pit now and you can come out, you're going to come out ahead of this guy, and Digital Race Engineer will do all of that for you. So that's just another phenomenal feature of Digital Race Engineer. Delgado's
black flag for Scott Petrone for speeding in pit lane. So he will have to come back through. As Delgado comes into pit lane now, race leader is in to do his first stop, or his only stop of the race.
Yep.
Bigot has come out behind Cotterman. He'll get a free position when Petrone has to drive through pit road. And for Bigot, he is about 1.5 seconds off the back of Cotterman. They took roughly actually about the same amount of fuel, so that was a similar stop time. Both of them, Bock and Caffrey, are now in as well. So where Holiday ends up in comparison to Bock and Caffrey. Same for Zach Houston as well. He was amongst the top 3 overall previously as well. Knowing that Houston is amongst that top GT3 class in bite point racing on the Friday night, Jim, I would expect Zach maybe to also make the move up to pro next season as well. Knowing where his skill level currently sits.
It'll be interesting to see.
In terms of raw pace.
That's certainly possible. He very skilled, and certainly would be an asset to the pro category. What?
Look at where Justin Bock's gone off the pit exit. P2 on the road. Justin Bock has taken a 4-second or 3.5 second quicker pit stop than what Harrison Holiday did, and he has now vaulted himself up into P2 on the road overall.
I tell you,
this is a bold strategy play. If he's been saving fuel the whole time, we know that Justin can save fuel, Jim. We've seen it before.
Yeah. For sure.
If he's saved fuel and he's going to continue to save fuel,
well, he shouldn't need to. We're at the halfway mark, and we know that these guys can fuel more than they can on their first stop, so he should be fine fuel-wise.
Well, we know as well that the Mustang does use more fuel.
Yes,
it is a heavier drinker than what the Acura is.
But it also has the largest capacity of any of these GT3 cars too.
Well, that's right. So and knowing that 65% and 75%, well, it's actually that's the percentage of the tank size of the particular car.
Right. The Ferrari has the smallest tank, apparently.
Yeah.
That's learned in my research.
That's taking in less fuel than any other car in the field. Right. And with its current fuel burn, it makes it actually pretty uncompetitive because of the amount of fuel that it uses with its short fuel tank as well. For the Acura, though, with its recent updates, and we're leading into Sebring, funnily enough, coming up this weekend, Jim. And actually, that's a good point to speak of, because I heard apparently the BOP only affects that event itself, but I don't think that's true. I believe it only affects these cars on the overall, because it changes how the car drives.
I still want to know the answer to that, because the person who told me that should know. So, the person who told me that should absolutely know. You know, by the way, you know who Basic Ollie is, right?
Yes.
So somebody in this field, I'm not sure exactly who it is, but somebody here spots for Basic Ollie on his endurance team.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And I will tell you, it is one of, well, maybe they're not all in there now. So I'm not 100% sure. But it was somebody that was in the chat when I popped in earlier today. And I had heard that somewhere in the past, but I didn't put the name with it today because I wasn't looking to see who was talking when they said it. But yeah, somebody in here spots for Ollie on his endurance team. So whoever that person is might know just from being, you know, so heavily involved there.
Okay, so I've just done a little bit of research here, Jim, just to confirm how the BOP affects these cars, right, on an overall scale. So it affects them for the special event session.
Right.
So with Sebring coming up, so it'll
Right.
affect them during that. And for the endurance and sprint variations of the session, as well as Cole Malley's just run wide at turn one, thanks to Kurt Baslick, thanks to Ty Bax going past him. So I don't know if that means then that it also affects them in hosted sessions.
No, it would not. It would not.
No.
It would only affect them in races that iRacing has set up for people, officials that iRacing has set up for people to practice for the special event. You know, like this week, you know, you're going to see every freaking thing in the world at Sebring this week because Sebring is this weekend. So this week, the BOP will affect all of those cars when they are racing at Sebring, getting ready for this weekend's, which is what I was told. But, you know, you and I and many others, because I've said numerous times, I can't even tell you how many times that I have said to someone, as Nathan just got by Jed there, how many times I've said something about the BOP affecting cars in a race like this, and they've agreed, and we've talked about it, and that's not the case. And so, I was corrected, and thankfully so, because now I don't sound like a dumbass.
So just quickly as well, Jim, so off of the pit stop period here, and thanks to Nathan Biggett having a battle with Jed Cotterman across this last lap, the gap's now grown to 23.5 seconds up to Ricardo Delgado from Biggett. So he's actually lost 3.5 seconds across these last few laps through the pit stops.
I don't think that there's any place in
Michael.
Yeah, let's see. Let me go back and get an outside shot of that as well. I don't think there's any scenario where, that was probably the
cameraman,
worst.
that's a great shot of the tree.
That was a beautiful shot of but that I would have to say that's the producer that did.
Was that a squirrel I saw on there? No.
That's a nice squirrel. Oh, and he didn't even hold his brakes.
Well, if he's got ABS enabled, holding his brakes will do nothing because he'll still roll with the ABS. So,
okay, so let me do this. I believe that there was a contact here that caused that, huh? No. It's not going to let me do it, I know.
Was there contact with the GT4 car? I mean, so he looks up the inside, tries to carry all the speed. There's no
the
contact.
GT4 just
carried a lot of speed.
The GT4 just hit those horrible bumps I talked about pre-race. Yeah. No connection there. All right.
Well, Caffrey's still rolling right now. He's got Kurt Basler on his heels, who last bit on lap 1, so Kurt will need another stop in this race to get his car home, as will Michael Anderson and as will Lance Campbell further down the order in the field as well. Jed Cotterman running strong at the moment, leading for the amateur class here tonight ahead of Jamie MacArthur. Jacob Cotterman, by the way, is already out of this race. By the way, Jim, 5 laps for Jacob Cotterman tonight. So
I busted his chops pre-race about that. And he started running his mouth about how he's doing better than his dad. And I'm like, are you?
No, you're not.
Exactly.
Jacob, are you?
No, that just tells you the delusional world that Twig is living in right now.
I mean, if we look at the numbers, Jed's already beaten him in the champion.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you can't beat him.
No. Well, you know, it's good to be a teenager sometimes, you know, this level of delusion that goes in there, you know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue, which I haven't told you my dumbass of the week story yet either, so I'll get to that as well, why I've been calling myself a dumbass this week. But to continue that, I have to say, you know, early on we had some fun with Harrison Holiday over his floral borders on his webcam, and then we had some fun with him over his gloves and whatnot, right? You know,
Yes.
and you know, this guy, kid, I'm gonna say kid because he's obviously significantly younger than me. How the hell did he get in second place in the points?
By clean, consistent driving this season.
Apparently, because that surprised the hell out of me.
He's had his moments at times where he has had an unfortunate run.
I was not paying attention enough to Harrison Holiday.
He's gone under the radar
very
this
much
season.
So.
Ultimately,
somebody's going
as
around
Kurt
there.
Basil's in, that was Aiden Kiley back there going around in the GT4 classification. So getting himself reset and going once again.
I'm going to re-show that just because I want to show Aiden's phenomenal new rig setup he's got going on there as he's spinning.
See, you know what the problem I think this here is, Jim?
What's that?
His FOV is set incorrectly.
You think so?
So you see how high up he sits compared to his screens?
Yes, I do, actually.
His screens need to be lifted up quite a fair bit. He's sitting too high up.
He is. He is sitting too high up. And also, I want to say that he's sitting a little too far forward in the view as well. He should see more of those side windows in that side, in those side monitors, and that those posts for the right and left door posts there should be closer to that center line of his main screen. He needs to FOV himself back in the whole thing then down.
What I would say, so because he does a lot of sports car racing, he needs to try and angle so he sat back just slightly, and so the wheel is kind of up slightly, so probably a little bit higher up on his chest, closer to in line with his neck, nearly. Yeah, that is a comfort thing, but
I don't race.
I do think that the screens need to come up a little bit because he's tried to line it up with the wheel.
He's literally looking at the edge of the roof line there. His eyes are lined up with like the edge of the roof line.
Yeah, and I think the reason that this is because he's lined up the screens with the steering wheel, because he wants the wheel to be where it should be in the car.
Right.
But he needs to adjust his screens and then adjust his positioning in the car to fix that. That there will actually help him. So Harrison Holiday sits P3 overall at this stage. Nathan Biggett is 2.1 seconds off the tail of him as they run in towards turn one for Holiday. He's done nice and tidily this season, put himself in P2 in the championship for the Pro-Am classification. He sits 1 second off the tail of Justin Bock on the road here tonight in P2. Justin's done an exceptional effort here this evening, and ultimately Delgado's not going to gain the 70 points that he needed to win the championship before Daytona next week over Justin.
No.
But what it will mean is when we go to Daytona next week, it's going to be as simple as Delgado scoring a solitary point, and he will win the championship next week when we head out to Daytona International Speedway. If for whatever reason he's not there, well, the one thing that Justin Bock will have to do is, Jim, he's going to have to get his second ever win in a sports car within this league landscape.
Yeah.
To try and chop down the tree that is the gap between himself and Ricardo Delgado at the top end of town in terms of the point standings.
I mean, to be honest, I never saw a scenario where Delgado wasn't going to win this championship from about week 6 or 7 on. You know, I mean, it seemed like a shoe-in, and then once whatever happened with Fulker, whatever. The fact that he hasn't been here has only just solidified it even more that Delgado was going to win this championship. But I don't know if I said this earlier or not, but before the race, I almost said, keep an eye out for Justin tonight, because he's going to be riding high off that confidence, because that was a huge confidence boost for him. and especially winning it in a car with no ABS, in the LMP2 car. So I think that I not that I thought he was going to beat Delgado, but where he's sitting right now, I thought second or third, solid second or third run tonight could have been capable of, and he's still going to have to battle Nathan here, I think, before it's over with. By the way, I probably should go back to the view that gives us that.
Well, there it is, and
Let me
the
just pull this
gap
up.
is shrinking as Bigot is catching, or has caught the back of Holiday, and it means he's now 2 seconds off the tail of Justin Bock, as well as he looks for it up the inside at turn 12.
Shoosh,
Holiday gives him all the room in the world, knowing
Yeah.
that he's battling for a classification win here tonight, not necessarily the overall podium.
Yeah,
More
that was
important than
smart.
he gets this class win than the podium overall. He doesn't get anything for an overall podium, no bonuses, no nothing.
Man, I tell
Might
you
as well
what,
got the spot.
Nathan's flying, though, dude. I mean, he is just flat flying. He's going to be all over Justin Bach in just a matter of a lap.
Well, there's 18 minutes left to run in this race. Nathan Bigot has shrunken the gap to Ricardo Delgado to 17 seconds at this stage in time. 18 minutes, gain a second a lap.
That ain't gonna
You'll catch
happen.
him by the end of the race.
There's no way he's going to put a second a lap on Ricardo Delgado. I mean, I would love to see that.
We've seen stranger things, Jim, and maybe we're living in the upside down right now. But
I mean, to be fair, last lap he was 7/10 faster. So
pretty close.
That is pretty close. We are living in the upside down right now. The whole world is in the upside down.
Yep, it is indeed. So for Bigot, he's got to try and offload Justin Bock in P2. How much will Bock defend this, knowing that it is Bigot behind him? He may just want to solidify the podium tonight. And for Bigot, he needs to get this job done.
Justin's not going to jeopardize this podium finish to try to hold up Bigot if Bigot just runs, all up over him like that, As they go by Cole Malley there.
Yep, gets the job done on him.
Let's see how big Cole Malley's right now. Well, just a mere 26 seconds. Well, he's putting a heck of a stamp on his season for sure.
Well, he is. This will lock in his championship tonight based on where John Voigt is on the road.
Yes.
Back in P3 in classification, it's all enough to win him the GT4 class for the season. I am, Jim, still going to be campaigning for that GT3 Legacy class next season.
That's not going to happen.
I seriously want to sit down with Jed and just say, hey, can we please at least put this to the drivers and see what they say and see if they want that GT3 Legacy class? Because I think it'd be fantastic to see the old cars out there with the new cars.
I don't disagree with that, and I've thought about that. It's not going to happen in this league, not next season. I can tell you that right now. But the plans are already, laid. The groundwork and the foundation, everything's already laid, so it's not going to happen. But it did make me think about how cool it would be to have a league that focused on nothing but legacy series type racing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like the Lotus 79s, the IMSA Vintage, with the Audi and the Nissan.
Well, I was going to say, what would also be cool is, Jim, is if we saw a legacy IMSA series where we only run the defunct IMSA classification cars. So the legacy GT3s, the HPD, and the LMP1s.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd
be pretty cool.
That would be fun. Yeah, but again, exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A whole entire league that revolves around nothing but running vintage.
Well, you know what would be
legacy type of cars.
So what would actually be a fun event, Jim? And I think it's highly capable because I know that Michael will probably watch this back. I know that Jed will watch this back. Let's get together. Let's make the plans for it. A By Point Racing FTN combined maybe a single driver 3-hour special event where it's LMP2, GT3, and GT4, and we run it at the end of a season. And it is a combined special event where every driver represents the classification of the series that they. So the GT4 drivers all driving the GT4s, the LMP2 drivers driving the LMP2s, and everyone else drives GT3. We go racing for 3 hours at a track that maybe is a bit more equivalent than the choices of, say, Daytona, Sebring, Road Atlanta as a special event. So let's pick a track that doesn't necessarily get the love it deserves in the US or even around the world.
Like the Red Bull Ring?
I'm not saying it should be the Red Bull Ring. I would like if it was the Red Bull Ring, but I actually think it should be Algarve, because I think Algarve suits multi-class racing more than the Red Bull does.
With passion.
I love it. It's so good.
I hate
it's such a good track.
I don't mind broadcasting from there at all.
The races there, though, are great.
Yeah, well,
the racing is fantastic.
Not if I'm involved in them, they're not. Why is that sitting so low? Oh. Why? That doesn't... Oh.
It's on the pitch gyro.
No, I know why. It's because I'm doing that.
So, by the way, Gap's now down to 14 seconds. He outlapped Delgado the last time by 0.8 of a second, Jim, or nearly. Actually, no, it was nearly 0.9 of a second.
I'll tell you.
So he is chasing him down.
I'll tell you, like they said in the movie. Oh God, my memory is so bad. Especially, I got up bright and early this morning. Like super early.
Did you get up at Sparrow's Fart?
Yeah, but prior to that, actually, it was quite early. 8 Men Out, which you probably have never seen. It's a baseball movie, and it's about the 1919 Chicago White Sox team that threw the World Series.
You would not believe this, Jim.
Yes.
I have not seen it.
Shocking, yeah. I thought you were really going to shock me there for a second. But anyway, so the owner of the team, the pitcher went to him and was supposed to get a bonus if he got 30 wins in a season, and he had only gotten 29. And he said, well, I certainly would have gotten 30 wins, but you set me for 2 weeks to rest my elbow to get ready for the World Series and all this stuff. And he looked at him and he says, I can't think of the guy's name now, Mr. whatever. He goes, Seacott. He goes, Mr. Seacott, 29 is not 30. So my answer to you there would be 9/10 is not 1 second.
That's true. It's not. It's not a second. But
not that I don't want to see this, because I would absolutely love to see these two come down to a last lap battle with him running his way all the way back to the field, because that, to me, harkens back to the Nathan Biggert that we knew. Damn, I did it again. Biggert that we knew from a couple of seasons ago, that was so dominant that he would challenge himself to do things like this, and
so you know what, cool. I think ultimately. So what ultimately I think the difference is, right? So if he started from the back of the field, he would have made it through turn 1 and he'd still be running. I think the time lost at turn 1 alone was more significant than actually if he had started from last place in the GT3 class.
Sure, no, I don't disagree with that. Yeah,
and you've awakened tism now, Jim, that I need to be able to point this out of what my top 2 favorite baseball movies are of all time.
Oh my God!
Since you mentioned a baseball film, it is.
Look, you and I picked the same camera. Oh God!
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I'll go back.
Well, I'm on Delgado at the moment, so that's why.
I was on.
My 2 favorite of all time is The Sandlot and Moneyball. I love both those films. They're great.
I can get behind both of those. I would not say they're my favorite baseball movies of all time.
Yeah, well, Jim, when I've only watched probably 5 baseball, 3 of them are which of the 3 Sandlot.
Right. The Natural with Robert Redford is way up there.
I've not watched that. There is another one, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it is very good. It has
Dreams?
John Hamm in it. Not Field of Dreams. I need to watch Field of Dreams, actually, but it has John Hamm in it. It's where he goes to India and finds cricket players and brings them back to the US to play baseball. And it's very, very good. And I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. It might be. You know what? I'll find it as we have 10 minutes to go in this race.
Right, and we get accused of being off topic. Who has the nerve?
We're on topic.
Yeah, baseball.
It's US sports. We're calling US sports right now.
Oh.
As I'm going to make this search while we continue on through. But so the time really, so it's down to less than 10 seconds. In fact, it's down to less than 9 seconds with 10 minutes to go. So this traffic has hurt as there's contact made there. That was Kurt Basler with one of the other GT3 Porsches at turn 5. No, it was Tyback. Sorry, not Kurt.
Yeah.
Many apologies. Tyback start, and that's a black flag now for Michael Anderson and for Nielsen as well. So then they've actually hit the incident limit here tonight. Jim, so they've both they're both gonna have to traverse through pit lane.
Look at Anderson's face, man, would you?
Yeah,
tell he's not happy.
Disappointed.
Dude, look at all the black flags right there. You got Nelson has got one, right? Yeah, Nelson's got one. Basler's got one.
$1 Million Arm is what it's called, Jim.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right.
$1 Million Arm.
Have you ever seen, well, you haven't because we've talked about every baseball movie that you've seen. You also need to watch Trouble with a Curve.
Oh.
It is, it's Clint Eastwood, and he basically plays an old, aging baseball scout who is kind of on the way out, and he is...
So kind of the Clint Eastwood baseball variant of Adam Sandler's basketball scout movie, which I can't remember the name of now as well.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it was a Netflix film.
And his
more black flags, by the way. John Swan's now gotten one. Kurt Basler did get one, by the way. So I think it was Basler that was actually in that contact, but Ty was there as well. So Baxter and Basler are both having to now come down pit lane when he runs up towards it. Top three, Delgado, Biggett, and Justin Bock, all the pro class at this stage. Holiday, Houston, Caffrey are the top three for the Pro-Ams. And for the amateurs, it's Cotterman to MacArthur to Chet Miller on the podium at this stage of the M class. And for the GT4s, it's going to get wrapped up in the next 7 minutes' time. Cole, Malley, Schaefer, and Voigt, where we will crown, as long as Cole Malley makes the checkered flag in his current position, we will crown the GT4 champion for Season 1 of 2026 with the Ultimate GT Championship, brought to you by Full Throttle Nation and the Roasted Record as well, down in Florida. And you know what you can do, Jim, from the Roasted Record? Doesn't matter if you don't live in Florida. You can, if you live in Florida, obviously, you can go visit them in person, check out some of the brews they've got, check out some tunes as well. You can get a little bit of everything down there.
Yes.
But if you live outside of Florida, or you live a little bit too far away to make the trip, within Florida as well, you can go to their website and you can order some of those brews, some of those tunes, and you can use code SIM20 at checkout to get 20% off your order. Wow. They will ship anywhere as well. But the important thing is, Jim, you've got to have the dosh to pay for shipping. If you can pay for shipping, they'll send it to your door.
I mean,
and you
knows?
will get
they may even have some kind of free shipping program. We don't even know.
They might. We don't know. But the one thing we do know is they've got worldwide artisan coffee in-house for you to buy. So if you want to taste Australian coffee, which is the best coffee in the world, Jim, I'm going to die on that hill.
I'm sure you would think that, yes.
You can buy some. You can buy some from the Roasted Record.
And
let's say you're trying to find yourself.
They definitely bring in beans from all over the world, and they artisan roast them in small batches there in house.
If you want the full Australian experience, so if you want to live like me for a day, for example, you can order yourself some artisan roasted Australian coffee beans. And you can match it with an LP of, I'm trying to pick a good Australian band. Let's say In Excess. In Excess is pretty good.
Men at Work.
Get yourself, Men at Work. Silverchair, pretty good Aussie band.
AC/DC.
No.
Yeah, AC/DC.
No, it doesn't go well with coffee.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't go well with coffee.
It does.
No, you know what it goes better with, Jim? It goes better with a carton of beer and a punch-on with a rubbish bin. That's what it goes well with.
Nothing says classic rock and Australian coffee like AC/DC.
You get yourself, if you're more of a modern music fan, maybe get yourself a Tame Impala LP. He does release LPs, so you get yourself a brand new one with the Australian coffee down there as well. So match yourself up with something.
So if you want to be Hamish for a day, you go seek out some Australian coffee.
Well, the more realistic choice would be, Jim, you pick out some Australian coffee, and you buy a Greta Van Fleet or Paramore LP would be closer to living like me for a day.
I didn't know you were a Greta Van Fleet fan.
I've seen them live, Jim. They're great live. It's a great show. I saw Baby Metal yesterday. I saw Baby Metal on Tuesday
I saw the
with Indian metal band Bloodywood. Yep, with Indian metal band Bloodywood and a US metal band Magnolia Park, which was very good.
Oh, Jed's off the track.
Quite a lot as Jed Cotterman's off the road. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. Dying embers of this race. As we fill your ears with what we've been doing across this week. And, well, we've got 3.5 minutes on the clock as Cotterman's gone off, but he remains in the race lead for the amateur. At this stage, the gap between Bigot and Delgado has evened out now. It's about 10 seconds, so Bigot's not going to chase him down within the next 3 minutes.
That black flag he's got.
Nope, that's going to do it. That's going to end it for Bigot.
That's going to put
Justin he's taken
Bach
too many
back
liberties.
In second place.
Yep, too many liberties for track extension for Bigot. So he'll now come into pit road. He's in there now. That'll give Justin Bach P2 on the road. And all Justin has to do is maintain control for the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds across this race. And he will finish in his highest finishing position in the Ultimate GT Championship after the race win on Friday night in Bite Point Racing. He could be on here for a P2 in the Ultimate GT Championship tonight. What a week it's been for Justin Bach. The momentum swing has come his way, probably at the wrong time of the season, but we'll see, Jim, if he can follow through with it into next season.
I would argue that it's exactly at the right time because he's going to be rolling into next season with this wave of confidence, and I think it's going to elevate him to that next level, which, he was already a competitive pro anyway, and I think it's just going to, drive him that much harder to get ready for next season.
Well,
which apparently is going to be European, from what I understand.
Yep, all European tracks. Yeah, there was conversation about including some Australian tracks and said, no, Jed, we got to do all Europe. Because ultimately, Jim, I think by the time we get to season 3, I think we'll be getting Bahrain by season 3 of iRacing.
I mean, it's definitely on iRacing.
It's on the development schedule and it's on iRacing Arcade.
Yeah, because
as is Circuit Paul Ricard, as is Kyalami. Yeah. So what I think we're going to be getting season 3 of iRacing. Just to mention what we're going to be getting here, as we're going to get to the final lap in just a moment's time. So it's going to be white flag the next time by Delgado. I think for season 3, we're going to be getting a combo of the new 2026 Mercedes Formula 1 car, since they apparently have and they've had the last 2 models of that car on iRacing. So we're going to get the new Mercedes AMG Formula 1 car with Bahrain in season 3. Then I think season 4, we're going to get the Lexus GT3 car with Circuit Paul Ricard and Kyalami.
Well, that's entirely possible. I mean, we know Paul Ricard is coming as well. And I'm pretty sure
and Lexus it's not a Formula 1 circuit anymore. It's now a sports car circuit.
Right.
With European Le Mans going there.
I'm not too sure. Why does anybody care about the new Mercedes Formula 1 car? Nobody races Formula 1 on iRacing anyway.
They don't, but I can't think of anything else you'd bring out with Bahrain.
Maybe the Genesis sports car?
Maybe, if they have scanned the Genesis.
I mean, to me, that's because they race there. So to me, that's probably a better pick because people at least care about sports car racing on iRacing.
Well, for one thing that that we care about, though, is what a performance it's been tonight for Ricardo Delgado.
We do indeed, yes.
Justin Bock has held on to his opportunity to mathematically win the championship this season, but for Ricardo Delgado, he'll come around turn 12 and he'll take himself to race win position number 1, victory lane for Delgado and Corvette once again. He'll extend his championship lead over Justin Bock, who has driven Jim absolutely exceptionally this past week and should be very, very proud of his achievement as a driver in the GT3 Pro class. For the Pro-Ams here tonight, Harrison Holliday is going to take out that victory, with Jed Cotterman looking to come home in P1 for the GT3 amateur class. But right ahead of him for Season 1 of 2026, your GT4 champion, Mr. Perfect, Cole Malley, takes home the race win for the GT4s, locks in the GT4 championship for 2026 Season 1. Say goodbye to Cole Malley in GT4's, Jim. Say hello to him in a GT3 car for Season 2.
Makes me want to sing Say Goodbye to Hollywood by Billy Joel, but that's another story entirely. Great season from Cole, obviously, with the exception of that one little pit stop flutter there.
I blame the safety car that day, Jim. That's what I blame.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that too. Our safety car guy's not here tonight either. But yeah, that's either way. I mean, what a phenomenal season, and he deserves
absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, it's great. So let's see. Let me get rid of this, and then we'll get rid of all of these things, and then we'll find us some results. We should have some of those here. I think everybody's crossed now. They have indeed. So let's start with our GT4 class results.
And well, of course, for the GT4s this evening, locks out the GT4 championship. P1 on the road once again. He went 9 from 10 this season to Tim Schafer and John Voigt on the podium here tonight as well. Cole's wanting to hand it off to Timothy. I'm telling him. I'm telling him he's the champion. He needs to get in here. That's
just the kind of guy he is, though, man. Right
he
there.
He is. But anyway. Hard charge tonight, Tim Schafer up 26 positions apparently, but that's not accurate ultimately. But it was Malley to Schafer to Voigt to Kiley to Grondin and to Dersham for the top 6 as well. Shall we chat to our champion?
No, let's run through all the results. Let's run through all the results first. Because otherwise we end up not doing them. So
that's true. For the GT3 Pro-Am class tonight, it was Harrison Holliday ahead of Zach Houston and Michael Caffrey for the top 3, with Steiner, Welsh, Baxter, Campbell, and Basler at the back end of that field as well. To our GT3 amateur class here this evening. Tonight, it's another race win, of course, for Jed Cotterman when we get those up on your screen momentarily. There it is. Chet Miller, P2 tonight, Jim.
Yes.
What a result for Chet. Congratulations, Chet Miller. He's slowly becoming one of my favorite drivers out there. It's great to see him do well. One of my favorite liveries out there, too. Love me some Dayglow and silver. It's a great look. Jamie MacArthur in P3 here tonight as well. John Swan, David Vulper, Jody Nelson, Brandon Herzing, Jacob Cotterman, non-finish here tonight, as was Herzing. Neither was Ogier in the end as well. And then to the GT3 Pro class, it's Ricardo Delgado to Justin Bock and Nathan Biggett after a late race black flag took him out of the top 2 positions on the road. To Scott Petrone, Justin Cornett, Michael Anderson, and Daniel Schmall at the back end of that field here this evening as well. We will drag in. First of all, we'll start. Shall we start with our GT4 champion?
Yeah. Let's go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah. Mr. Malley, welcome in. Congratulations. Oh, why is my microphone continuously cutting out?
I don't know.
Drill my head in. Welcome in, Cole Malley, though. Congratulations. You are the Season 1 of 2026, Season 4 for Full Throttle Nation's GT Championship, GT4 champion. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you didn't even
I
want to
know.
come talk to us. You were going to be
I
so
know.
humble that you weren't even going to come talk to us, and you're the champion.
Well, like I said before, there's a lot of really hardworking people that do a lot of work on this race. I see them go put in laps in Garage 61, and it just feels unfair that they're not recognized and I am.
Well, to be fair, you've had multiple seasons of not being recognized, so there's that. You've earned this, and you put in the work, and their time will come as well. It may come as soon as next week if you decide to go ahead and jump into a GT3 car, since this one is over with.
Now, I had a question about that, and you guys have done the math. Even if the last race is double points, do I still win?
Is it double points?
It's double points for the last race of the season.
Oh well,
then you don't.
Then you do not.
Then you have to race next week at Daytona.
I'm racing in Daytona. It's my favorite track.
That's a good point.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there we go. We didn't actually, you know what? I didn't even know that it was double points.
So that changes everything.
So that changes everything.
So,
all right.
So right now, you're provisional champion.
Never
Cole.
mind then. Then get the hell out of here. What are you even doing here? Why aren't we talking to
All right,
Tim?
that's what I thought.
No. So what I would say is then, so you're provisional champion at the moment, Cole. You have to survive Daytona next week, and then you'll be the champion.
And we'll see where it all shakes out then. But yes,
yeah.
Either way, this has been that kind of season, and good on you for trying to, pass it off to Tim. That's cool of you, and not surprising for anybody that knows you, I'm sure.
Well, I appreciate
I
it.
do have to say that we haven't costumed that much this season at all.
No, and
I
that's
think when you tried to drive in the fencing mask, and I think that was kind of the culmination of it all, and it all just kind of ended right there with the fencing mask. I'm not sure, but
No, he's locked in. He's gone from being the banker, the accountant, the chemistry teacher, the substitute the teacher, the swordsman of fencing,
the Roman bath, and
to now being locked in and loaded with that headband on.
Yes.
Champion Cole Malley.
That's right.
He is in a champion's mindset. He's in a driver's mindset, and really he's moved on to being black belt Cole Malley.
That's right. Yes, karate kid Cole Malley.
Yeah, Karate Kid Cole Malley.
Yes, Miyagi-san and all that stuff. Miyagi-Do karate.
Yep.
Well, anytime Cole
does look like the Caucasian variant of Cholo Maldaduena. So, we could see him. We could maybe see him in a Cobra Kai spin-off at some stage, maybe. But Cole, congratulations on your race win. Best luck next week at Daytona. Pretty much, you've just got to score points next week, and you will be the champion.
We think so. We don't know that actually, to be
honest,
but.
Well, it's 150 points for a race when you've outscored you outscored John Voight by 2 positions tonight. So the gap will now be, previously it was 200. You needed 8 points to be 300 points adrift, so you're a bit more than that.
Okay.
So realistically, if you finish behind him by 1 position next week, or you beat him, you will be the champion.
There you go.
So that's the challenge on the board for you.
Look at Hamish had to pull his shoes off to do that math right there. Nobody even noticed.
I'm not wearing shoes, Jim.
There you go. See, it makes it much easier for you to do the math, doesn't it?
That's right.
All right, Cole. Well,
exactly.
we will see you next week, buddy. And, I'm sure we're going to end up having another chat with you, just if nothing else, but for the championship. But and of course, good luck. And then I want you to win it next week so that we can see you in a GT3 car for Sebring, because that'll be fun.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thanks. If you have time for the other guys, interview them. They're great. Thanks.
We will.
Appreciate it.
They're great.
Well, should we interview P2 in the GT4 class?
No,
since he wanted to offload.
No, let's do what we're supposed to do first, and then we'll.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll drag in our GT3 AM winner here in Jed Cotterman on the road tonight. Well, Jed, I need to mention to you, I did not know we had double points in the final round, and I called Cole Malley champion tonight as he crossed the line, so let's take on my face.
I don't. Do we? I don't think we do this season. I know
Cole claimed there was. So if there's not,
I don't think there
confirm.
is.
So
there's not.
I didn't do double points for the Interlagos.
Ah,
Oh,
well then. Are there extra points available because it's a 90-minute race?
I'm gonna have to go back and
dude,
look. To be honest,
easy
I
now.
don't
I
know.
can see the smoke billowing out of your chair right there from you thinking so hard. So take it easy.
No.
That's just-
It's not from Jed thinking so hard. It's from Jacob stewing for the last 40 laps that he was out of this race. After he claimed he was doing better than his dad.
yeah, he did claim that pre-race.
And Jed, I must say, the talk that Jacob is doing is reflecting of his driving because it's absolute trash talk from Jacob at this stage. And I think he needs to start doing some successful talk. So his driving still reflects his talking, but it's actually successful driving.
I tell him all the time, you're not gonna win it on the first 5 laps. Slow down, be patient, and be a teammate. Draft behind me. Follow me. Follow Justin. Follow Mike. Follow anybody. Nope. As soon as that green flag drops, he's middle of the track, 3 wide, going for good. I don't know. He's something else.
You know
He's
what?
gonna learn the
Normal,
hard way.
16 years
You
old.
know what
That's
I-
what he is, or 15,
you know
or whatever
what I
he is.
used to, what I used to do to people like that, Jed, who would consistently think they can win it on lap 1. I would dump them at turn 1 if they're right alongside me because you are not going to win it here. So if you want to keep trying to make it 3 wide, I'm just going to hook your rear and you're going to go off the track.
And that's why
Like,
Hamish is a broadcaster now, because
no,
he's
that's
not
why I
allowed
changed
in
my
any.
driving
He's
style.
not allowed in any sessions.
I don't. What even happened with Jacob? Because I mean,
I don't know.
literally
I don't even
with
know.
with my headphones on and focusing on his, I heard him screaming over my shoulder. He sits right 3 feet away from me, right over my shoulder here, and he was not happy.
Well,
I don't even know.
I'm gonna go look now.
I'll see if I can find it. Here we go. Well, he went off track on lap 1.
Yes,
Um,
but
so-
it was lap 6 is where the dramas really happened.
Well,
Yeah.
in his defense, and I don't do this very often, in turn 7 he got smashed in the back on the parade lap. So that he was mentally gone from there. I'm afraid the ironic part is he literally just said not 5 seconds before that, he goes, it was just luck that I'm here. It was just luck that I outqualified you, Dad. And then he gets rear-ended.
Well,
he spun.
He spun it hard into turn 1 on his own, and then I think
What lap was that? Lap 1?
Lap 6.
And then I think lap. Yeah, that was. I mean, honestly, he didn't tear the car up there. I think that he rage quit there.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Yeah, I think he rage quit because he didn't tear the car up.
No,
But
he
anyway.
didn't hit anything. But
No.
yeah, I don't know, man. He's gone downhill, and the only thing I can contribute to any of that would just be a little 15-year-old cockiness. I don't know. I mean, he's got the talent, he's got the pace. You know, when he's pitching in the ball games too, as soon as he gets in his head, you might as well take him out. He's trash. But when he's on the ball, he does really well. So I don't know. He hasn't been practicing like he used to, which is probably most of it, but I don't know. But how was it overall? I heard some comments on the radio, and I got some messages I've read already, and I know the turn 1 kind of looked like a little bit of net code between Campbell and Bigger, but I think the contact was inevitable. So
obviously we spoke to Lance last week, and he
Yes, I knew this was
had
coming.
complained about a comment I had made, apparently about his racecraft.
and
then this week he pulls out. This week he pulls out in front of the traffic in turn 1 and just gets absolutely plowed. And the irony is not lost on me of that comparison between the 2 weeks. And it's like, well, you can say that I said that and that you have good, but then you do that. Like I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't even know what I said.
I you know.
Got no idea what I said about his racecraft, but I don't know.
Let's not grind the salt anymore. We've ground it enough already. So anyway, let's get rid of Jed and move on. We've got other people to interview here. Jed, we talked to Jed on the regular, and I'm sure we're going to be talking to him in a championship form here soon.
I told Chet, I was like, dude, your first top 10, like second place, like, dude, have at it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to.
He's had. Overall top 10, you mean? Yeah. I mean,
yeah. And I tell you, Chet is class. Comedic relief every time he gets in. What's up, fellas? Like, it's just he's always happy. He's always, doing his best. Now he had his moment at Interlagos. I haven't forgotten that. But
the first half of the season, he obviously had a poor run of races, not making past 10 laps. Seriously, the last few weeks have been absolutely exceptional for Chet Miller. And I said just before we spoke to you, he's slowly becoming one of my favorite drivers in the field. He's got one of my favorite liveries in the vet. He is doing a great job, an absolutely great job. And I look forward to seeing what he does next Sam class, because realistically, Jed, without you here, he would have been a race winner tonight. So
I mean,
if you'd have just spun a little more, and if you'd have tagged something when you spun out there.
I even told myself going into turn one, I need to give him some room. And my right foot didn't listen. I didn't brake hard enough. And when I was going over the bump into 3 and I made contact with him at the same time, I was like, well, there we go. But just Jed doing Jed things.
That's what he's got to work on when he moves up to the pro class, not doing Jed things.
I know. But, again, here, it's like, I know I can do it. It's gonna be a little ego check on my half.
That's good though.
I agree with you.
Not that your ego's out of control by any means, but just
No, but it's like everybody likes that piece of the winner puzzle or the pie. You know what I mean?
But there's a whole lot more reward in struggling for a season or two in pros and then starting to get up there where you're legitimately competing week in and week out with those guys at the very front of the field. And that's where the real satisfaction is going to come from, At this point, it's more of complete and total frustration if you don't win, because you should. And that's what needs to be. That's where the ego check needs to come in. Not that your ego's out of control, but that you just need to go back to the spot where you have to earn it again.
And like I said, I've said it before. Like I think that's what's going to take me to the next level, and I'm up for it. If I could finish 5, 6 in the group that we've got, I mean, Nathan and Ricardo and
Daniel. Oh no,
well,
not Daniel. Never mind. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I was kidding.
Like I wish Derek would come back.
That's what I meant. Derek is what I meant.
Yeah, I know. Daniel Schmall, he wasn't real happy with his first race back, but
no, I didn't mean Daniel. Actually, I meant Derek.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll see how many people come back for next season, and
with the kind of racing that we have here, and the fields that we have here, and the broadcast that we have, have no doubt we will have no problem filling these fields up again as we have.
Yeah, I know, and I like to see the guys come back.
Sure, of course,
season after season, but
to be honest, without getting into too many details about that whole deal, man, if he had a problem with the scrutiny that came on him after those 2 weeks, he doesn't deserve to be here anyway, because a blind man, Stevie Wonder could see where that was going. I mean, so.
And it's like, if anybody knows me by now, like, I consider myself one of the guys, like, yeah, okay, it's my league, whatever, but I try to lead by example.
That's not what you say in private.
Everything,
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
everything is done in fairness in what I truly feel to be for the the betterment of the league, and it is what it is. I mean, some things I hate doing it. I really do. I wish we could get through every race and just everybody congratulate each other in the Discord and we all move on, but you know how that
Look,
goes.
I mean, when you put 50 guys together, man, in multi-class and everybody's competitive and stuff like that, the reality of that happening week in and week out is that's not realistic either. I mean, it's just that's not the nature of the guys that do this, man. If everybody was to take it that easy, lighthearted, it wouldn't be the type of competitive people that this type stuff attracts. You know what I mean? So that's to be expected too. So. You can't. I don't even necessarily blame anybody for that. I mean, there's these guys are competitive and do this for a reason. So just like
I
you,
get that.
you've had your moments as well.
Yeah, I've come a long way myself. But anyway, hey, get out of here.
All right.
Get out of here.
Yep. Say goodbye. All right. Let's see. Let's pull in Harrison.
We have our Pro-Am winner here tonight, Harrison Holiday. Harrison, welcome. Congratulations. Race win for the Pro-Am class here tonight. Nearly an overall podium in the end, but a little bit of strategy on the way of Justin Bock. Snuck his way past you onto the overall podium, but you drove smart tonight. I mean, we saw Nathan coming up on you. You just let him go nice and easily down at turn 12, knowing that the win was on the line for the Pro-Am class for yourself. Just a smart race for you in the end and a race win to boot. How does that feel after that one?
Ooh, great. Yeah, I know this track really well from Petit Le Mans and everything, so I don't have a problem with pace. Just as you know, I can mess things up sometimes, so just taking it easy.
So I'm gonna be the first to say and apologize to you. I have not taken notice of you this season. In this, I see you in both races twice a week. And tonight for some reason, right ahead of this win, I saw that you were in second in points, and it surprised me. And I mean, I know you show
Is
up
that
every.
true?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, right. Second in points, isn't that correct? Let me see. I believe that is correct. Yeah, you are second in points right now. We're a few points ahead of Steiner. So, I did not realize that going into this, and I completely overlooked you as far as that goes. We've had our fun early in the year picking on you about your little flower border, your Hawaiian-looking border around your thing, and then we've given you a hard time about your vintage racing gloves. Yes, that's right, the old the vintage gloves and stuff, and and so when I saw you were in second, and then it just kind of all came together tonight, and you got the win. It's your first win that I know of. Since I've been,
I think, my first league win ever.
Yeah. So, and and I've also seen your progress in the LMP2 cars. You had a good run going this week, or this past week, I should say. You started on pole, which caught me off guard again, a little bit by surprise. I wasn't expecting that, and I do have to say now, given the pace you showed last week and this win tonight, I fully expect you Friday. To do well at Road Atlanta in that LMP2 car now. So
it's quite the pressure.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You start winning races and running up front and second in points. That's what happens. The pressure comes. I'm just kidding, of course, but
that's true.
No, but congratulations, man. You really have surprised me, and you've done yourself a lot of justice, especially here late in the season. You've really come on. Oh, excuse me. I apologize again. Damn it! I couldn't mute myself again. Anyway, I'll let Hamish take over from now. Here, I'm gonna sneeze some more.
Harrison, we've got 2 rounds to go. Obviously, Daytona next week, Sebring the week after. We're running the Triple Crown of sports car crown jewels in the US.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for the final 3 rounds. How are you feeling going into Daytona next week after this? Obviously this win and now carrying a little bit of momentum with you into those final 2 rounds as well.
Honestly, Daytona is not really my track. It's like low downforce, so you have to use a setup that is just so squirrely, and It can be very treacherous there, but what I've learned over like past season or so, I feel like it won't be as bad as it used to be for me. So, I don't know.
Well, we'll see how you go across next week and into the final round of
Sebring, I'm
Sebring.
looking forward to, yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you go. Championship's a little bit out of reach at this point, but I mean, mathematically speaking, you beat Michael on the road tonight, so you did gain some points back. So it is still alive going into the final 2 rounds of the season. So we'll see what happens when we head out to Daytona, and if something can go your way, that might find you in a positive a positive position for the week after.
Absolutely, this is already better than I can hope for first season here.
There you go.
Well, we appreciate your time, Harrison. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out? You go.
All the BPR guys, they're great to be around. And my friend Sam might be watching. And that's about it.
All right.
Well, best of luck next week, Harrison, out of Daytona. Forward to seeing how you go, and thanks so much for coming and have a chat to us.
Thank you. See you then.
Thanks so much.
I have to say, he's even more laid back than I thought he was going to be. And I had already pegged him as laid back, and he's even more laid back than that. So you got a feeling that not too much is gonna rattle that guy. He's just kind of just takes it in stride, I think. All right.
Yeah,
so what we got now? We've done
well, we've got our GT3 Pro P2 on the road tonight in Justin Bach.
Bring Justin in. Yeah,
it's been stepped in for Ricardo Delgado because he had to step away. But Justin, welcome in P2 on the road after a win last Friday in Bike Point Racing. You are carrying some momentum, sir. Congratulations on the performance tonight. Well done. Fantastic strategy got you up to P2. You managed to gain it back when Bigot got a black flag in the end. And it's a top 2 finish for yourself here in Ultimate GT Championship. Your best finish to date. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was tough out there. Those guys, like I said, those guys are always so fast. And as soon as I came out of the pits and I saw Nathan was within about 10 seconds, I was like, I'm wondering if the smart thing to do is just to let him go by me and then try and chase him down and have him help pull me up towards P1, or they'll get up to P1 and fight a little bit, or the worst case, maybe he has to drop in to get some more fuel.
Serve a black flag?
Yeah.
Because that's what it was. It was a black flag.
Yeah, I saw that it was a black flag, but yeah, and apparently it wasn't much from talking to Cole. Yeah, so, but yeah, I'm happy with it. It's always nice when I can place up top like that, and I think I'm.
So in 2 races, you've got a first and a second. The last 2 races, need I say more? I mean, what a week it's been from that horrible race last week. I mean, literally, arguably one of your worst races ever. To first place in an LMP2 car, and then second place here tonight. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely some tracks in these last 3 or 4 races on both leagues that I'm very familiar with and very good at. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I told the story, by the way, on the broadcast of Friday for any of those that didn't watch that or whatever, and how much fun it was getting to interview you, and hopefully anybody that hasn't watched that race will go back and watch it, because those last few laps were awesome as you got ran down and then held them off and all the good things that it was just really cool. So. If you're looking for something to watch, go back and watch that Bike Point Racing race from Friday night. It was good fun.
Yeah, you can watch me run for my life.
Well, you did, and you didn't throw it away. So I fully would have binned it right there for sure. So.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Ricardo. He's always fast in here, but yeah, he had to run, so he said I could come in for a quick interview with you guys. And thanks to Nathan and everybody over at Full Throttle Nation and this GT Ultimate. It's been great. Jed's a monster putting everything together. So yeah, thanks to him, and thanks to my parents for watching and everybody who watches on my stream. So
There you go. Hamish?
Well, Justin, we appreciate you coming over to chat to us. We wish you the best of luck in the final 2 rounds of Daytona and Sebring to see where you can maybe solidify some final points before the end of the championship and continue this run of momentum into the season as well. Best of luck. Thanks so much, and congratulations on the P2 here this evening, and congrats on the win on Friday.
Where does Delgado live? Is he Chilean?
He's
Puerto
from
Rican?
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Justin, you can get a cheap flight down to Puerto Rico and clip his internet.
Clip his internet.
Yeah, and you might still have a shot at this championship. Just clip that internet and get him out of the way.
I'm just hoping to solidify a P2 in this one.
There you go.
So I think I moved into I think I'm going to move into P2 tonight with this second place, and then I got 2 races to hold off a hard charging.
You will definitely slot into P2 because Fulco wasn't here and it was only 6 points separating you. So you will definitely be P2 after tonight's race. And I don't know if Bigot can. He maybe can catch you across 2 rounds, but there's probably about 100 points separating you. So it's it's anyone's game between both of you for P2, but that'll be hard for him. So we'll see. But thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate your time, and best of luck in the final 2 rounds.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything you do too, as well.
All right, buddy.
No worries. Thanks so much.
All
right. Yeah, let's pull Tim in.
Tim, welcome in. We made you wait for
That's right.
the end of the interviews just to see if we had enough time to slot this one in quickly. But P2 for yourself tonight. Yep. A great finish on the road. Obviously, we haven't spoken to you at all this season, but you get out there every week. You have a drive. P2 on the road in probably one of the best GT4 liveries in the field. I must say, it's a gorgeous looking Mercedes.
It is actually. Yeah.
You can thank BPR's painter for that one.
Now, obviously, you've been a part of the GT4 class for a little while now, and it's quite a topic that we talk about quite often, whether the GT4s should be kept or if they should be changed to my wild idea of GT3 Legacy class, for example.
Yeah.
So I suppose, how do you feel everything goes GT4s? I mean, obviously this season's been nowhere near as competitive in terms of the championship standings for the title race, but how is it on track for you amongst the field?
For me, it's fun because I'm racing with John a lot. Or VIR was incredibly fun. We had, before John got taken out, it was like a 4-way battle with me, Oliver, John, and Dershwin, I believe, and that was really fun. The on-track battles are fun at GT4. Like you said, the title run is just not existent. That's all shout out to Cole, though. He's a fantastic driver. But for me, Jim knows, but I race in the GT3 leagues on Friday in BPR, and I run the Aston in there, and I've won 2 races this season over there. And for me personally, next season, I'd probably get, I would love to get bumped up to GT3 if there's room, because I don't feel like switching driving styles every week, 2 nights a week. So that's my opinion. In terms of driving on track, it's fun. It's much more challenging than GT3. But it's also like every, racing league out there does GT3. So it is sometimes nice to drive something different in a league. And yeah, I mean, I think if you get the title battle out of your head, because that's not, what you're fighting for, and you're just like, John and I are separated by less than 100 points right now in the standings. So him and I are having a good go at it, and that makes it fun for me. So.
Well, we're glad obviously to hear that, and that it's fun for you guys, for the minor positions to be having those close battles as well. With Daytona and Sebring coming up, probably I would say 2 of the best tracks all season, Jim, for traffic management wise and traffic filtration of the slower class. How are you feeling going into Daytona and Sebring? I mean, next week it's kind of a crapshoot. If anyone can always win Daytona throws as many spanners in the works as a Snap-on tool salesman. How are you feeling in and amongst this car? I mean, you mentioned having to change cars every single week because of Bite Point as well, driving that GT3 car. How are you feeling into those final 2 rounds with Daytona and Sebring coming up, of where you may find yourself placed after those 2 rounds?
My goal is to just beat out John. I mean, truly, because I feel like that's, it'd be awesome to get second in this championship. Again, no, flack against Cole, but I just feel like we already know that he was going to win by race 3. So, it almost feels like another championship in a way of like Cole's going to win, but how's the rest of us going to play out? And like I said, right now between John and I, it's just incredibly tight. So I think going into, like you said, Sebring and Daytona, between John and myself, it's anyone. It's either of us who could, finish in front of each other. I think that Daytona is going to be, like you said. I mean, it's just Daytona is always crazy. So I'm worried about traffic. Going in a bus stop with how these cars drive and how understeery they are. Same with Sebring going into turn 1 in Sunset. Just see how people send it. Again, to your point again, I just think that traffic management is going to kind of make or break those races. So if you are running, let's say John's running, half a tenth faster than me every lap, but I have better traffic management, I think I would edge him out in those 2 tracks. But like I said, it could be either of us. It just depends. But I think those will be really fun races. Those 2 tracks kind of consistently produce good racing, so I'm excited for it, and here and Friday.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you go across the final 2 rounds, Tim. We appreciate you coming over chat to us as well. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to go this?
I'll say honestly, like just the GT4 class. Like John in particular, him and I. It's always nice when you can race someone and you're not at all worried about them doing anything necessarily like dirty or anything, and you just know that, like, yeah, I may lose this position, but I'm gonna have a fun battle with that guy. Is always a fun thing to look forward to. So, yeah, I'd say John just being a consistent, clean driver to race against is always fun.
Well, we appreciate your time, Tim. Best of luck in the final 2 rounds, and who knows? We'll see if Cole locks out the championship next week at Daytona.
Sure he will. Yeah.
We'll see if you maybe get yourself a race win at Sebring in the final round of the. But
we'll
best
see.
of luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. Well, Jim, that'll bring an end. Show here tonight. What a race, of course, here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Always great to come racing here.
Yes.
In sports cars. As we said, it's one of the crown jewels of sports car racing amongst the US. It's within the top 3 crown jewels of US sports car racing as well. Coming up, well, we've got the top 2 in crown jewels of sports car racing across the US. Daytona International Speedway next week for the road course in the second to last round of the season. Then the week after, 9th of Sebring International Raceway, where we're going to crown champions, and everyone is going to want to be pushing as hard as possible to get their championship solidified. But massive shout out to our stream sponsors, of course, the longest running sponsor with us, DRE Digital Race Engineer and Track Cams for Gourmets as well. And to the Roasted Record, who's come on board this year and is helping support us. As I said earlier, you can order online from them and use code 20 to get yourself a cheeky 20% discount. They'll ship anywhere to you across the world. Beautiful artisan coffee, as well as some LPs and other music available to you as well through them. For myself, I'm Sean and Jim Cunningham, being here with us once again. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we're racing right here on the channel. Tomorrow we've got Maximum Velocity Racing League trucks away once again. You guys can see us then, but until then, thanks so much for joining us here on Motormouth Broadcasting, where legends are created at a time.